excuse because these guys play a lot of games in U-Assist. Like every single time they're playing.
Do they really?
Yeah, when they play against North American teams, they have to play in U-Assist. In most of the tournaments, or at least they go like 1-1-1.
What European region would actually benefit from East over West, though? Because that's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me about Cloud9. Because they're asking for East, even though they actually have 3 players who are technically in Europe.
From what I've seen, I'm not sure like why they do that, but every single time I've seen them doing, they try to pick the server that's most disfavorable to the other team.
Okay, that makes sense.
They can't choose that.
East for Europe West is not too bad.
No,
like 130.
It's
like,
fine. Like,
I actually rather queue East.
I'm saying, what situation would it be better for them to do that?
Okay, and
like, yeah,
I agree with Bruno. That
it just feels like they're doing it because they know it's like, okay, yeah, we want to play on this because not necessarily because it's good for us, just because it's worse for you.
Maybe Ewi and Eternal Envy live on the west side of Canada.
I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, they have a couple of people from the western side.
Yeah, that's how he lives on the west.
Well, there you go.
But at the same time, they have 3 players playing on Europe. So it's like a trade-off, of course. I've seen them play against North American teams and picking Luxembourg servers as well. I've seen them doing that as well. So it's kind of like a trick that you can use when you have players on both sides if the rules allow for that.
Yeah.
It's funny because Cloud9 is the only team in the entire league that has this controversy behind it.
Yeah.
Because they can pick and play wherever they want.
Well, Team Dog kind of has the same right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you're right.
Liquid has Koifa, but I guess you can't pick to choose side for one player.
They do it based on like the majority of the team, right?
Yeah.
So
anyways, having said that, I think the draft has already started. So we're going to leave you right now. Hopefully we will have no pauses. If there's a pause, I'll be trying to think of good topics to talk about. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Go with Cloud9 versus Empire. May the best team win.
In this case, which is probably going to be Empire. We'll look at it. We'll see how bad it really is. I'm just kind of like ballparking when I say that I think it's like 250 plus or something like that. But I've never actually played from Russia, so I don't know. I'm pretty uneducated on that.
Okay, I would like to make a little rant about C9 Team Empire.
Okay.
It's like a continuation of the rant that I just made about Midas Gaming and how bad that is against Team Empire. So you were saying in the previous game where the Doom had a Midas and drums, I believe. I think if he skipped the Midas, skipped the drums, and went straight mech into BKB, the team would have had a much bigger chance to win.
Or Vlad as well.
Or Vlad. Some item that does. I guess drums it's the exception there because drums actually does something for the team.
Right. No, I agree though. Like I full-heartedly agree with that sentiment because you're investing that money directly into something that gives you an immediate return.
Yes.
You're not getting something that's going to pay off maybe 10 to 15 minutes down the road. And what you give up in that time, like you're filling, right? Like you lose all your tier 1s
right
against Empire. You lose map control and you potentially lose Roshan, which they did. So in that case, buying a Midas is not worth it at all.
And to kind of extend into this game, Cloud9 is notorious for going quick Midases.
Yeah.
Or not even quick, they're like 12-minute Midases. And they do it on heroes that maybe sometimes have 3 death under their belt. Instead of getting BKB, they go Midas. So I think if Cloud9 does that, it's severely disadvantaged against Team Empire, who jumps at you 15 minutes in with the Blink Centaur. From last game.
I like it.
They first banned Ember and Lycan, like both of them respecting the other team.
I don't know if it's okay for them to pick the Centaur like straight away, because Visage +1 can be high enough of a damage composition to actually threaten the hero, like kill it. Whereas last game when they were playing against Fnatic, the supports didn't have...
It was Enchantress and Luna first.
Yeah, they knew what they were up against. Like.
It's like they knew exactly what was going to be coming their way. Now, Luna's going to be picked again, this time by Cloud9. Doubt it's going to be mid. So if that's still the safe lane, again, Centaur still feels pretty safe. But they picked it blind into one support, which I think is still inherently risky, and I think you could still get punished for that. But I guess if you want to theorize further and say that it's better to get your offlaner punished than it is for something like a mid or a carry, and you know what's going to be coming sooner in that regard, then you could potentially use that better, like later in the draft. I don't know. I guess there's arguments against both sides, which is what makes Dota such a great game.
For me, finally, there's a team that's banning out Puck against Team Empire. I just think that hero for them is just so powerful. Right now, for me, Resolution has images of S4 from last year when he was just dominating everybody with puck. They have a very different playstyle. I feel like Resolution's going for more solo pickoffs. That's why he's buying items like Dagons. You could see him running around picking off supports. But they do a very similar thing in the sense that they just really control where the fights are going to be. And he always drops like 3 or 4 man coils. So finally somebody's respect banning the puck. I just think that against Team Empire, you take out the puck or you lose. So. And again, nobody's banning Mirana against Sing Sing, which I find it very odd.
Well, I think it's one of those heroes that even if Sing plays it, like I wouldn't even be afraid to say that I think he's the best Mirana player, like period, like just in competitive.
Okay.
I still feel like the hero has inherent flaws. Like it's so performance based. Like if you don't hit your arrows, the hero is totally lackluster, right? Like lane presence
always
wise,
hits arrows.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I'm saying, human error makes that hero not like that high tier for me.
Okay.
Like
So
sure,
you're
she
saying
can contribute a
Sing Sing's not
lot. Huh?
Sing Sing's not human, is that what you're saying?
Maybe he's not. Maybe, I mean, you've seen his jacket. Maybe he's hiding something under there. Maybe he's a cyborg.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it could be. But no, I just think it's... The hero has crap base damage. Doesn't usually win a lane. Like, say you put her against Invoker, Invoker wins that lane. Put her against SF, SF wins the lane. Unless you hit arrows.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't really crush anything.
So, when you were talking about the necessity to hit arrows, I was going to throw out the counter example of, like, Windrunner. Apart from, like, if you land a shackle, you win team fights, right? Like, if you stun 2 heroes for 3.75 seconds. But Windrunner has, like you said, the good laning, could offlane, could mid, could do, like, could even support. Could control, could counter push in ways that Mirana can't. So I hold that back. You're completely right about Mirana. But it doesn't stop Cloud9 from picking it. Because they usually use strategies like, for example, Naga and Snare or Naga Sleep to set up the arrows. And then you're just getting a ton of burst damage.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you're going to pick a setup for it, then I totally understand why you would go for the Mirana. But they usually just put it mid. Like, they usually just say, yes, Sing, go take Mirana mid.
Well, they safe lane farmed them a few times.
They do.
Yeah, a handful of times. I guess it could be seen either way. I like the safe lane farming more than I do mid, for obvious reasons, although I guess she does offer a bit better rune control than some of the mids that we're seeing today, especially heroes like Storm. Storm has, like, no rune control.
Yeah, he just waddles up.
You push the wave and you hope to God it spawns where you're walking. That's pretty much how it works.
Oh, Nyx is so good against Storm Spray.
Yeah. Nyx is very good against Dazzle as well. The Centaur's abilities are so telegraphed that it's incredibly easy to just use Carapace and be like, oh yeah, you just got stunned, you know? And same thing with like Remnants, same thing with like Poison Touch, because you can use it at any point during the duration and you'll stun them.
The mana drain's also really good against Storm, and that's because they usually go high intelligence items.
Yeah, I think the Storm might actually have to go super early BKB, which hurts, but we'll see if they manage to pick up any other heroes with decent damage dealing capabilities. But I still feel as though the Storm Centaur synergy is nice, because say you ball like on top of somebody and you have Centaur ult on, and you stop, they still get slowed, so you don't actually have to pull that person.
No, you just Remnant straight up, and you get the damage and everything else.
You can be a bit more efficient with your balling as well.
Real fast, if you double edge into a spiked Nyx, you just take a lot of pain, right? You just take a lot.
Die.
Okay. Well, you don't just die, but
your character gets deleted from the game, and you don't get to come back.
I generally don't see that happen too often, because normally you're spiking like his ultimate or a stun. But if that happens, you know.
That would be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, you could argue it both ways. Like, the attacks are so telegraphed that the person could just cancel it when he sees the
because he has to like
too.
get the whole axe.
Because you like pull the axe all the way back, and then you read a book, and then you
lift your
bring
legs
it back down.
Radiant team pick.
Rubik for quite a bit, I want to say.
Vanscore has played it a few times, actually.
Yeah, Vanscore is like sick Rubik.
Yeah,
he's
he's
super good.
You know, I was thinking the other day, because I always have this rant that supports can't win the MVP award.
Yeah.
I think they can if they play Rubik, because
he's one GM. Do you remember that game? The first week?
but he didn't win it.
No.
That's only because Dendy played so good that week.
Yeah, there was...
Like, you can't even say that Dendy didn't deserve it.
Then he played well.
10 seconds.
But no, I think that Rubik is one of the biggest playmakers that you can possibly have on your team.
Yeah, as a support.
But it's also really hard to play from behind on him, I think. If you don't have like a Force Staff or a Blink Dagger,
It is.
It's like really, really
Especially against teams with Nyx and Visage, because all they have to do is find you with birds in the Nyx, and then you're dead.
No.
Like, you can't do anything against that. assuming the Dazzle and the Rubik are going to be kind of like buddies for the whole game. They're just going to hang out, you know?
I think they could pick Tinker here, Cloud9.
They could.
Or Invoker.
Does Sing Sing play a Tinker?
I don't think so. I don't know who would play Tinker on their team.
Definitely playing the Luna, so that's out of the question.
Okay.
So I don't think they will play Tinker, just
based on the
fact that they don't
players.
have the players. Yeah.
The other thing that's a little bit inherently risky about Tinker is that there's already a Storm and a Centaur on the other team. So picking a hero that kind of relies on opening up the map when you know that Team Empire has initiation is inherently risky, because you're basically saying, okay, hopefully the Storm doesn't, he doesn't ball on me, or they don't use Centaur ulti in a blink to stop me from marching a wave. Like, that's scary, right?
Yeah.
So Empire, they ban out the SF. I like that. I just really like heroes who go early BKB against lineups like Empires, where they solely rely on just walking into you and fighting you. Like, that's what Empire is doing.
Defeat that Empire suffer against Team Ahead is one thing that Ahead did very well. Is like
is that next KZ?
Yeah,
okay.
next KZ slash
they're called
Ahead.
now,
They're called Ahead. Is they went for 3 or 4 Blink Daggers. They had one on a Shadow Fiend. They had one on a Shadow Shaman, and I don't know. I think it was like a Centaur on the last one. I'm not sure about the Centaur. But what I saw and I was very surprised about is that Team Empire did not respect the power of Blink Dagger. So they would just like have one person farming out of nowhere, and then he just got blinked on. And they lost a lot of heroes and towers because of that. But the other thing I took away from that game is that Team Empires, they were fighting evenly, and sometimes they were winning team fights with a 10,000 gold disadvantage.
Yeah.
They're just saying a lot about the team. So I think I want to, just based on that one loss, I think Team Empire's weakness, if they even have one, is against Blink Daggers.
What heroes did the other team have? Shadow Fiend?
Shadow Fiend, Shadow Shaman on support, who somehow got to blink, and I think it was either a Slaughter or a Centaur, some sort of like initiator in that sense. Maybe after that game they have corrected their playstyle to not be as cocky or as aggressive against blink initiations, but I think one thing that Team Empire generally does well in their draft is making sure that they are the aggressor.
Ooh,
and
pretty much
the same draft here. Like Puck and Storm are, because they do kind of similar things, right? They jump on you and they initiate. And when you're the person that's being the aggressor, Cloud9 is going to be the one that has to be on the defensive. Because so far, if you just look at the 2 drafts, Earthshaker's picked as a defensive pick.
Yeah.
Luna is going to be sort of like, she does damage, but you know she's going to be getting a quick BKB. And to me, she's going to be a defensive pick for the similar reasons. So Cloud9 is going to be playing on the back foot, I feel like, in terms of like who's the aggressor role.
5 seconds.
Of postured lineup, right?
Yes.
Like you have Visage Birds to stun, you have Nyx, who has a decent range Impale, one of the best defensive supports in the game in my opinion, which is Earthshaker. Just being able to like highlight Ice Fissures are, well, he had one really good game, and then he had one really bad game.
Yes.
So he's like 50-50. We'll see which Pilot Eye they bring into the table today.
Okay.
And the last pick is going to be Invoker.
Yeah,
So, I think.
I agree. I haven't seen play Exort for a while, so
Exort works really well with the team. With Nyx, like, you can easily land the Sunstrike every single time.
Yeah, but it's not about the Sunstrike. It's about the fact that, like Lumi was saying, Cloud9 are going to be on defensive, like for most of the game. So having EMP Tornado is ridiculously good against Stampede and things like that. Like, say for instance, the Storm balls in, Cold Snap EMP, if he doesn't like get the ball out, he's dead, right? Or you just Tornado him and you save whatever hero they jump on. And likewise, if the Tornado hits you while you're stampeded, I'm pretty sure it gets rid of it.
But in this case, he could easily beat Storm in lane if he went Exort Quas and like crush his like early game.
Well, he beat Storm anyway.
Like,
Quas Wex.
10 seconds remaining.
I agree that Exort is probably better, just because it lets you secure last hits faster. And you can just hit the Storm when he goes to the wave. You can still do it as Quas Wex, but it keeps you safe from Mix, because if you go Exort, you don't have Ghost Walk, and then you're at least forcing Empire to buy some kind of detection if they want to roam, which they may, depending on how this works out, because it's going to be a solo offlane mix for Cloud9.
Okay, well, Sing Sing starts out with no Talisman. That's generally an Exort build.
What I was thinking is you can stack the Ancients with the Fort Spirits, and for Luna to...
Yeah, that's very true.
I personally like the Quas Wex for all the reason that Andy just said, and tagging on one more onto that, EMP Tornado to actually initiate on the Storm and then to follow with Cold Snap. You're initiating him for the team, you're burning all of his mana.
You're never burning all of Storm's mana. He will always have enough mana to bottle away.
Meanwhile, Envy was
Living life on the edge.
He has boots first though. He's fucking sweet. Like 380 movement speed.
He's got some next level starting builds, man. No
Yeah,
regen.
yeah. Envy is like the player that has.
But Aoi has
7.
8 tangos. Well, had 8, now has 7. But yeah.
Ridiculous.
Is he just gonna go rush Tranquils?
I think he's just scouting.
30 seconds to
I don't think he's
battle.
rushing Triangles, right? You're just gonna go into your standard ring of
But I mean, you
Aquila.
can just drop the boots, man, every time you go for a creep kill.
I got so mad one time when I was playing Lycan. I just somehow bought, my standard sword
Oh,
thing,
I
and I
hate
just get
that.
my Tranquils like, no. I wanted to disassemble it, but there were heroes running at me, so I can't just be like, oh, hold on, guys, let me disassemble
That's like next level strategy. You
Isn't
have
there
to burn that
something
15
where you
seconds.
disassemble them? Sometimes you can't sell them, like for the full gold.
What?
Yeah. If you assemble an item, regardless of whether or not you disassemble it, you still cannot sell it back for full
Yeah.
price. Because it's like if you use the item or something like that, like say you made arcane boots and you use them and disassemble them and try to sell it back, it won't work.
Yeah.
It'll sell for like 500 gold to end
What
the
if you
producer.
just buy an item, uses it, and sell it back?
doesn't
you-
sell back for full price?
I was-
Like bottles are the
BKB.
same way. Like you can't buy a bottle and bottle in the well.
I see. I was thinking so next level is like, oh, what if you're getting creeps somehow? They're like throwing you so bad, they're getting in the creep. You buy a Midas, the creep in your fountain, and then you sell it.
Oh, he is actually going Exort. I'm really surprised.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm not saying Forward Spirits and Exort is bad. I just thought that, Quas Wex would have synergized a bit better with the lineup because they still have a good amount of damage, even if he goes Quas Wex. You have Soul Assumption, Earthshaker Fissures, Lucent Beam. Like, they have the capability of picking off a hero very quickly, which is all you really need.
For what it's worth, it's going to give Sing Sing a much stronger lane domination against Storm Spirit. So, power right so far in the CS war.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Storm is his laning isn't like spectacular, but if you spam remnants and you use overloads to last hit, it's still pretty darn easy to remain consistent.
The only problem is that you have to get up and close to the creeps for that, and Invoker's gonna like click on you when you're so close to the creeps.
Yeah. But the other thing is, too, if you're in a position where you're getting pushed in as Storm, you're going to take way more harass. Like, you want the creep equilibrium to be going in your favor for the specific reason that you just mentioned. If you're pushing him in, and there's a bigger creep wave on your side than there is his, that means that it's going to be harder for him to hit you as many times because the creeps are going to go to him, and then he has to reposition, right? Like, even if he doesn't take creep damage, he has to move.
Yeah.
Which means he can't just sit there and right-click you the whole time, which he can do if his creep wave's bigger than yours.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Well, speaking the creep position, Pylai dies up to his usual shenanigans when he's playing Earthshaker, just doing more pulls. He even stacked the high-level camp, so he's denying a full wave, which is,
For a Storm, that sucks so bad.
quite backbreaking.
Like, that is going to make him the saddest. Imagine having a Lich on your team, but, like, way worse. And I really feel like this should not be possible.
I agree.
It's pretty filthy, look. It's gone.
It ain't great. It ain't great at all. Huh. I guess I'm just going to be, like, a full level behind at, like, 2 minutes in because cool hero is cool.
So we've been seeing more and more of this, the Ring of Basilius on Invoker. I personally believe, well, mana regen is always welcome on Invoker. Like, you generally do run out of mana if you spam your spells enough, but giving a little bit of armor to your creep wave as well as to your Forge Spirit is a pretty decent deal because the recent patch lock change has not been favorable to the Forge Spirits.
And should you turn it off at certain stages, though?
Well, I mean, more or less, you always want the wave pushing, in my opinion. If you're sitting here on bottom lane, Mag's going to be taking some damage. I think he's fine, though.
Yeah,
He
he's
has
not going to die.
treads. Oh no, that's Luna. Oh my god.
Yeah, Luna has treads. So I think if you're saying you want the wave to push as hard as you can, because if you're, like, pulling all the time, you don't want to be tanking his creeps under your tower. So if you have the armor on what creeps you do have to make sure that the wave's pushed out, it means that your tier 1's going to be taking less damage.
Yeah.
So
Also, just paying homage to some of the old school players. Shout out to Merlini. He used to actually turn on the Basilius on and off to mess up with the opponent's
Last hit.
it's actually super annoying
Yeah,
when you do that.
it's really next level if you could do it properly. So I'm not sure if Sing Sing's going to be doing that, but he can.
actually harder to do against a Storm, though, because a Storm has, like, 50 damage based on Overload, and he's being pretty liberal with his Remnant usage. So it still could work, but it's going to be a lot harder to make it work against him.
It's pretty fucking beautiful.
He's a bug, man. He is a bug.
I
And he's
play.
free running for his mid, too. What a nice guy. Doesn't even spawn there, but he does it.
Oh,
It's just part of the job, you know?
Illusion.
Illusion, oh, he's going to be sad. Cloud9's playing before is that it's very, very important that Pally die and Aoi play well. More important than I think the cores play well, because their core requires so much space in their usual playstyle. And, you know, Envy getting Mask of Madness, Midas on Drow Ranger and things like that. The supports need to create space. And so far, Pally is, you know, creating a lot of space for mid because of this Earthshaker shenanigan. Aoi not so much, but at least Envy's free farming.
The thing is, Sing is almost like a level and a half ahead of Resolution, and it's just because of the Earthshaker pulling. Like, he's level 6 right now, Resolution's level 4. Like, that is so unbelievably annoying for a Storm, a hero who is very reliant on snowballing, and he's getting ganked. Fissure, Resolution, possible first blood coming in, teleport reaction from the Dazzle, but it's a little bit too slow. Bone7's actually stuck.
No,
he's not. Why did he stop?
He hit the gym, you know, he could squeeze through like
so
that.
Not only did Sing get like a 2-level lead from pulls, but now he got first blood on the mid. Mid is completely just destroyed for Empire.
Yep. So I think this is jungle time for your Storm Spirit.
Yep. This is when you say, all right, stack the woods for me. I need to Remnant. No, but really, they should be doing that because like Bone7 can't really get a whole lot at the top anyway. Have a way for your Storm to recover. Like, it's a necessity at this point.
Well, they're actually going to try to gank mid a little bit. Always One Fly's going to lift Sing up. They toss him back, but not into the Remnant or anything. So that's going to be it.
He's already got treads, and a solo Rubik is not going to be enough to kill. Like, if Resolution was 6, maybe they could have killed him there, and it still would have been difficult. But I don't think they could have killed it with
What the?
That was weird.
That was Bruno whispering.
I just heard somebody say, "Hey."
That was Bruno going, "Hey," and then everyone's like, "Wait, what?"
Look at him. We were all looking around because Bruno's usually lying in some ridiculous position.
Yeah, I was like, "Where is he?" But he's not here. It's just a little bit of lack of foresight from Empire, though, because it's not like this is new for Cloud9. Like, they do this all the time.
Yeah.
Always on a fly is going to find Bone7, but there's
he has Spike Carapace.
Yeah, he's not dying.
Should be fine. I say that there's Phase Boot as well as Dagger. Bone7 taking a ton of damage. Pops the Spike. He also has a poor man shield.
Yeah.
Which I want Ice Rock to change it to Pro Man shield because when you get it,
you're a pro player.
You're a pro.
Is that what happens?
You're a pro.
Oh, Pilo die getting that 50 gold.
Value D wards, man.
Necrobook, I think so. I think that's the...
Sing's been going Necrobook on his Invoker quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's the game plan.
But you probably don't want to go first. You might want to pick up a Yules or 4-staff, depending what he sees fit.
By the way, poor Mag hasn't gotten a creep kill this whole game.
And
he's got 2 runes, though.
Yeah, it's true. He's got some runes. No creeps.
They don't give gold or experience, unfortunately.
Decimated right now by Cloud9. Like, mid and bottom are just going so unbelievably well for them. And this is normally the situation where you would say, okay, Resolution needs to help his team. What the hell is he supposed to do for his team right now, man? He has to have his Dazzle sit behind him because he's so scared of a counter gank, and rightfully so. I mean, they just dewarded mid. It's pretty obvious that they would want to try to gank you, but they have another high ground ward, like right where the creep wave is. So they know exactly what's going on.
These two lads aren't exactly stealthy.
They're not sneaky.
So my question is, how much is a farmed Spectre in this case going to do? It seems like they're going to go on mid-resolution, trying to ball out. The Sunstrike kind of, it does hit! But obviously not enough damage to actually kill it.
They held hands and tagged it together.
They did. I'm not sure if Storm would have died regardless of the hand-holding.
Nah, he wouldn't have. He's got a freaking casual belt of giant strength, man.
Needed that to survive.
Should have dropped his belt right there before he got hit.
Yeah, man, you gotta communicate.
Sama wouldn't be pleased. Oh, it comes from the high ground. He wants Mag, but he doesn't get the other themes. Almost.
He's gonna try to run, but here comes the Invoker with the right click. Sing doing a lot of damage. Here comes the Han. Pylite dies. Gonna be ripped. Envy coming in. He doesn't have the ultimate anymore. Sing gets lifted, tossed it back to the river. Sing's gonna be dead for sure. Mag's gonna come in to get a little bit of experience. Suddenly, the lanes that weren't going well for Team Empire gone a lot better.
Man,
that was pretty huge.
That escalated quickly, huh?
Well, Envy Wood, he did not blow that eclipse.
This Spectre, man, it's like, he is always just on point. Like, just, yep, I'm going to be here. I'm going to get these kills. And he always gets the kills.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Like, he doesn't just haunt in and get assist gold. He gets the kills.
Sunstrike?
Oh. Not quite. I don't even know where it was.
It was in the jungle for Always Wanna Fly.
Yeah, okay.
But,
One there.
Yeah, they need to. Like, Resolution needs that. Like, so bad. Somebody's taking the wind out of his sails for sure, man. He's 26-8 compared to the 45-16.
And he's died as well.
I mean,
like,
he just
if you get that's 4 full creep waves that Sing is denied on top of like the 3 or 4 that Pylai just denied from him completely. Like, even after the death, he's still 2 levels behind Sing. He wasn't there to get any experience from the team fight because Resolution had to get graved and run away. Life's hard if you're a Storm, man.
We've seen a few times in the Dream League when there's an underlevel Storm, it never goes well.
Yeah. But hey, Shining Hope, right here, Silent. The man.
It's kind of dark. It's not really shining.
Well, I mean...
Girl speed chain.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a bright spot for you, you know? It's like we're not calling the early GGs anymore. We're hyping everything, man.
Okay. The smoke! I'm running down to the ruin! Oh my god!
We're the hype boys.
Oh my days.
Here comes a smoke gang from Team Empire. Hype it up, because it's going to go onto the bot lane, and we all
good
know.
Timing, too. Spectre's Haunt's going to be up like just in time for this.
You know, I don't think it's a coincidence.
It could be that they actually communicated it.
Oh, damn. Empire wants to gang mid, but Sing. He knows what's up, and this smoke is running out fairly soon.
Oh, Sing's going mech.
Oh, the famous Invoker mech.
I think it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
It's not too bad.
Sigma did it for a good while.
I mean, nobody else has the money to get it. Oh, all in. They're going for Howie.
They got the birds.
2 birds, gets 1 stun. There's number 2. Howie walking away, gonna get lifted, though. And, yeah, he is super mega dead. Silent. He wants to continue chasing. Eclipse is up. Needs to be careful, man. He's gonna take a lot of damage if he dives this.
The shield.
Oh, the enchant totem under the tower. Silent gonna get bursted down. Perfectly executed there by Cloud9. Over aggression coming out from Empire, and they get punished pretty hard for it.
Them bounces on that Luna ulti though.
Yeah, I just want to give a rare shout out to Envy as we see Resolution balling out. I never give shout out to Envy's, but that was a really well placed Eclipse. He was perfectly ranged, so he doesn't hit the creep and he hits a hero. Back in the mid lane though.
I don't know. He just got lucky on the bounces there.
No,
he didn't get lucky. He was only in range of the 1 hero.
Yeah.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Like almost positive he was only in range for 1.
You just measure the Eclipse range.
Does he have a ruler?
Shane is not impressed.
I'm doubtful. I'm doubtful.
Okay.
No, that was like 100%, just like barely max range.
Okay, I'll have a look at the VOD later.
See, the thing is, he did it in the river, like he tried to, when Mag was going for the rune.
And then he got fogged.
But yeah, he was like too far away. But then he was like, oh, okay, that's the distance. Then the second time...
You whiff one and you learn the distance. Alright, I get that.
No.
It's possible.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know why Silent did that. Like, he could have very easily just waited for somebody else, like to be near him.
Maybe he thought it was safe because he had a creep wave.
Yeah.
Someone trailing behind him.
It was like right behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I still think that was suspect because he had the team in the woods, like above him, right? Like his team was right up there. So if he waited like 3 more seconds, they would have to keep running, or they would just lose people, right? And they could just kill the tower instead because the creep wave was pushing in their favor after the fact. So even if they didn't dive, they could have killed the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. I don't get the aggression.
Oh.
Resumed and we are paused. Just a quick question. We are saying that Team Empire is 4-0 so far in the league.
5-0?
5-0? Okay, where's Cloud9 at?
They're near the middle.
No, they're number 3
They're
right now.
like tied for second right now.
Yeah.
Are they?
So they're 4-1, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
So if they actually win this game, they will be tied for first place. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, if you beat Empire, that's always a big deal. So playing for a lot of kind of momentum and standing here for the Dream League.
That's true.
All right, Pylai die going in mid lane. They're gonna go Resolution. He's trying to ball out, and he will make it. You need something a little bit more than that, like an Impale from a Nyx Assassin.
Well, actually, you just need more instances of damage.
Yeah, one more right click.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has 4 points into Quas, which is actually enough to stop any like blink or ball animation. You just need more people hitting him to make sure that the cold snap goes off when it's supposed to.
Or creeps.
Yeah.
They're playing Volker and the opponent in mid has a stout shield. It actually screws you so much for the cold snap because it doesn't do enough damage to actually...
Yeah.
Oh, procs?
Yeah.
Okay.
His 2 auto attacks from his Force Spirits to make sure that they hit at the right time. So
Yeah.
all 3 attacks.
Alright.
Get out of that garden.
Yeah. Well, it's like super ridiculously hard, but he could do it, man.
I mean, we're talking about like measuring Eclipse range. It's like,
Rulers.
Yeah, see, he didn't stagger it. Sing, not confirmation. Not at all.
But he's got his mech.
That is true.
Resolution want to be careful here.
For other mech holders, sometimes you don't have enough mana to use it, but Exort Invoker, you get intelligence.
You use like no spells.
Yeah. And the fact that you get intelligence from the fire orbs. So
Yeah.
He's fine. He's grand.
He's grand.
Grand.
I can't do an Irish accent, man. I just can't. It's not in me.
I can't do any other accent.
I think Cloud9 is actually doing a pretty good timing push here. With the mech finish, the birds on top, Luna's coming back in. He's got the drums as well. The Fissure always want to fly. He's trying to run. There's no grave. Oh, not in range. And he is dead. Tier 2 is suffering a ton of damage. They still have the mech available. Pylai Enchant Totem just to get a little bit more damage. The Creep Wave's here. They got the Ring of Basileus and everything. This tower's going down.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is a hard push to stop. So he's like, I want... No, I don't.
Yeah.
Not again,
Full creep wave, man. So 2 easy towers here for Cloud9. I don't think they're going to stop. I think because of the fact that Resolution had such a hard early game that they're just going to abuse that.
Oh, and they found the stack.
No. Resolution needs that, man.
Please, no.
Oh, boy. It ain't great.
On top, but let's scout around for a little bit something. Always even gonna stop the spawning of that camp by dropping a ward there. That's rough.
So unbelievably BM.
If they could buy Silent enough time to get the Radiance, I think they might be alright.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like, getting a Radiance when you have all of your towers alive is much different than getting a Radiance if you've lost, like, 5 towers, because the supports on the other team are going to have, like, a fully completed item, and the mech is, like, still really, really good against that kind of a lineup, because even when the Radiance is done, you're going to have some kind of heal to offset the Radiance burn damage, and the auto attacks that your supports are going to be taking. So normally, you would say, sure, you know, Pylai, Bone 7, and Aoi are all very susceptible to getting Radiance burned down, but just having another 250 health makes that
Radiant's bottom tower is
the fights that you really need.
Alright, the first sign of some kind of life coming out from Team Empire. A Blink Dagger on Mag. That's going to give him a little team fight, but mid-team fight is going to happen right now. Bone 7 coming in. Impaled's going to hit on Silent Sunstrike, Fissure, everything onto him. He's fairly tanky as well as a Soul Assumption. They're going to try to burst him down, and they will. Great focus fire from C9. They're not done. They see always want to fly on the right side. Do they have the mobility to catch him up? No, there isn't anything, so they
I want to
defend the
say
mid-tier
that last auto attack didn't get blocked by Vanguard. And
He
that's
had the
why
medallion on him. That's
Yeah.
why.
I think he just got hit incredibly hard. And this,
Wow, look at C9.
yeah, Roshan.
I really like this. They're showing that if you give them a little bit of room, they're going to go take a lot more.
Yeah. Greed is good.
Greed is good, especially in Dota. But I don't even think this is necessarily a greedy move. I just think they know they can take it.
Yeah.
And they know that even if they bought back, like, I still would say fighting in the Roshan pit is to their advantage because, I mean, Envy's level 11 now, so that's level 2 Eclipse. He's got 1,000 HP. He's got Drums, Dominator, and then you have Mech again. It's looking really, really good for Cloud9 right now.
Yeah. Dagger,
man.
Pylai. I'm surprised Pylai didn't go Blink. He actually upgraded Arcanes first, which I guess with the playstyle of we're gonna just keep pushing, keep grouping up.
They needed 1 or 2 people to get him, I think.
Yeah.
I just saw Andy's face when he saw Resolution was getting a BKB.
He has to, though.
I know.
Like, he has to, but it's so painful because you go in and you are out of mana. Like, you have to BKB, go in, hopefully get the kill that you're going for, and then hope that your team can win the fight hard enough to where you don't have to retreat because you're going to be out of mana.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Storm was played back in the days, and I'm talking about like 2010-ish, where Storm was picked as that type of initiator. But at different times, as we see C9 pushing down a tier 1 bot, and mid is going to get traded, I suppose, for Team Empire.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They're getting what they can, when they can.
Yeah.
But it's just becoming increasingly difficult for them because they're going to lose a heck of a lot of map control. The bright thing that they have for them right now is that Silent is still farming very well given the circumstances, and they're going to be able to find out Pylai. Resolution, though, drops for it. Mag, he blinks in with the double edge, and he gets the kill on Pylai, but I'm pretty sure he actually did that into a carapace as well.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And now Mag is going to be dying on top of that. So like I said, if you do that, you die. Like,
Yeah.
you just die.
Oh, he had a little bit of health left.
And they gave
Silence should be careful up top because they have a blink spike. Gonna get dropped, and all of these beam, I gotta tell you, is in range. Oh, Vansco comes back in. He's gonna try to TP out. No mana for the beam. Trust switch from Envy, a bit late. Envy Did he even try to switch? He did not.
He did.
Okay,
No,
he did.
he just switched it back as soon as he realized that the
see.
thing wasn't going to be fast enough. Resolution, though, going on Aoi in bottom lane. Sting's here, too, though. Needs to be careful. Sting, cold snap on cooldown. Aoi might be going down, but Resolution looks like he's going to be going down, too. Maybe just barely had enough mana to get away with the ball. And the stolen Force Spirits chasing down Sting. I mean, he can in 3 seconds.
No, he has enough HP. Storm Sword does. So he should be fine.
Oh, yeah, he does.
he does,
He's like half health, yeah. That value Ogre Club, man.
He's going for it, though.
Back to the base.
Get more time in the well.
You've been a ball boy.
Easy turn of events.
Silent keeps dying. Come on, son.
Not a good sign, man.
I really would venture to say that if they didn't dive that bottom tier 1, this game would be totally different. Because Silent dying before he gets Radiance, like every time he dies before even just getting a relic, right? Like you lose so much gold every time that happens because he's not really contributing that much into fights. There's only 5 kills, right? And he's been involved in 3 of them, so it's not like he's not contributing his part, but there just haven't been that many situations for him to get reliable gold.
I would agree to that, only though half of it. I think right after he died on the bottom part, he should have gave up on the Radiance. It's such a timing item, like you said, with the supports being poor, with the mech being up on C9. I think you should go for something else, drums, diffusal, anything that could give your team some resemblance of a team fight.
I don't know, though, because say, for instance, like theoretically, he does have his diffusal. Okay, let's say he has like Vanguard Diffusal right now.
Okay.
Does that make him scary enough to where he can fight right now? Because I don't think it does. I think that you need a Radiance just to be able to not only be a threat to the supports, but just farm enough to remain relevant. Because otherwise you're going to get to a stage where having a Diffusal doesn't increase your farm rate at all. I mean, sure, you auto-attack slightly faster, but in comparison, Radiance is like miles better for keeping your efficiency up, which is what he needs if you're behind.
I mean, even with the Radiance, I don't think he could fight that well. I think C9 will just mech up and say, alright, we're going to keep on pushing.
Yeah, but your ult in itself still is more of a threat.
Sure.
I think that the Manta style, like, there's no point in getting the Diffuser Blade without Manta style.
The only thing I want to say, Radiance.
Well, Manta illusions still get Desolate.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
I'm saying I don't think there's a point to getting the Diffuser Blade without, like, sure, you get it on your ulti.
If you don't already have the Manta.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say that Radiance really does well for Empire is that C9 is operating on 2 Blink Daggers, and you still prevent the initiation, you still prevent them from chasing you, for example, but I'm not sure whether we're going to finish this discussion, because here comes C9, and they're looking for high ground.
Yeah, Manta done on Luna.
Goes down, and Empire does have the glyph. Like, the Rax is going to go down for sure. Here comes Envy threatening a beam or eclipse.
Yeah, he keeps on doing that, the fake eclipse thing.
Resolution goes in. He wants Pylite Die. It's going to be a blink stun. Only getting a hit on Mag, unfortunately. Echo Sling gets used by Pylite Die as well. No one dropping quite yet. Mag, he gets Grave. Pylite Die going to be the first casualty of this fight. Here comes the Eclipse from Envy. God. He gets a double. He wants to potentially chase for more, but it looks like Always Wanna Fly is going to be able to escape by the skin of his teeth.
Always Wanna Fly has Eclipse stolen, so if there's some good initiation coming out from him, as well as the rest of the team, they could actually make something happen. But Mag is dead. Storm is... Where's the Storm? Storm is being chased by Bone 7 on the mid lane. He needs to make it back of the well, but he doesn't have any mana. His Spike is gonna hit, and they're gonna try to burst him down. Meanwhile, Envy's got a kill. Resolution's prevented to be going back to the base. He's gonna go one more hit. Blink Dagger gonna get the kill. Meanwhile, on the top lane, the Rax is fully exposed, and Cloud9 is about to take down Empire and get first place on the DreamLeague.
That's an early GG, man.
That was an early
not just called losing
About to.
Now I gotta play the good guy and say what Empire can do to get back in the game.
What will they need to do?
Okay, they need... honestly, they played that as well as they could have. They kept Mag alive for so long. Like, he lived until the Eclipse came, and obviously the Grave wore off. But when they graved him, it was a very efficient grave. There was, like, everything they did, I think, was sound. But the problem that Resolution's having is that he had to initiate and waste all of his mana.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't even have his BKB yet, so when he went in, he knew that he was going to get counter-initiated on by the Nyx, and he dodged the stun. So, good on him, right? But they just don't have enough damage, like, simply put.
Yep.
Should they time the Spectre ulti for when Luna eclipses?
Because it would eat the bounces, but I think it's...
They kind of have to go for air shaker.
Well, here's the thing, though.
You know?
Here's the thing. If Empire does not press the haunt button, they do not have enough damage. So they really need haunt. Whereas Cloud9 don't even need haunt, or sorry, don't even need eclipse to actually kill everybody. So I feel like Empire's pressure to use that Haunt. And just to go back to Andy, I don't think this game is completely over for Team Empire. I feel like once Storm has the BKB, you saw how they're initiating. They're going for the Earthshaker. If you could actually pick up the Earthshaker before the fight happens, the Cloud9 team does lose a lot of AoE stun. So that's going to give Team Empire a lot more damage output. So I think Empire does have some fight in them. But here comes Bone 7. He is blinking back out because he somehow noticed that there is a Sentry Ward.
What a player, man. This is an offlane Dagon Blink next at 23 minutes in. Like, he is unbelievably farmed.
He's 206.
His team also has 5 towers as well as a Roshan kill, so...
Yeah, but that's kind of what we were saying earlier. Like, the fact that Resolution got shut down mid is why they lost so much map control. The Storm needs a good start. Like, if you don't get a good start, and especially, like, say you don't get any CS, right? Like, for the sake of argument, like, or super extreme. You don't get any CS, but you get all the experience from your lane. You're still, in my opinion, like in a better spot because Resolution was 2 levels lower than Sing before he even got ganked once.
Yeah.
Like, that is so unbelievably, like you said, backbreaking. Like, how did you come back from that?
Yeah, I think top lane, Bone 7 is teleporting to defend that one. I think they were trying to bait out a couple of...
So there's that. That tower bottom is just dead.
20.
There's no
like
glyph.
20 minutes or something. It's completely insane.
And Satanic done on Envy.
Okay.
And double damage in the ball.
You're saying a quick BKB would help out in this particular draft, and I agree just in the drafting proportion, but when you're this far ahead,
you don't need one.
Yeah, just getting raw HP and a Satanic just heal you back up after you survive all the initiation.
Did Eternal Envy buy a bottle specifically for that double damage run?
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. No, he always says this is like the game-winning rune. And you should buy a bottle if you're a carry in situations like this.
Yeah, but I would go high ground, honestly, if I were C9 right now on bottom. But Silent, completely out of mana here in the top lane. Bone 7 with a creep stun there. Just decides to blink away. But he's going to force Empire back to the base, which I guess is more or less what he wants to do, so...
Oh no, Envy DD popped. And, okay.
I think the expiration date on that thing kind of ran out.
It's only fucking 2 minutes, like, it's not great. You want to eat that the second you cook it.
Be
Like.
as effective as you can, Envy. Hit every creep.
That sounds like the Swedish market.
Yeah, remember that meat I got yesterday?
Yeah?
Went off, like, what, this morning or something?
Expired.
Yeah.
Expires in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it's
Better
so
go
good.
home and cook it like right now.
It's like a quarter of the price.
Well, Cloud9 continue to assert their map dominance here over Empire.
Oh, Radiance!
Radiance. All right, here comes the team
Radiance.
fight. Again, if you haunt right now, I mean, the Blink Dagger on Bone 7 as well as on Pilot Eye is going to be completely disabled. So I think the team fight is going to get much, much better for Team Empire.
Yeah, sure.
Also, they also have BKB finish on Resolution, so they actually can burst down just about anybody.
They're going to have to outplay, though.
Yeah, they do. They really have to.
Then the birds are going to destroy them. That's
Again,
the one fear I have for the lads.
Just saying, in that game for Empire versus Ahead, where they eventually lost, Empire was in similar situation, but they were able to team fight on a fairly even ground because they were outplaying. But Cloud9...
But do you think they can outplay Cloud9 that hard?
I don't think so. I mean, like, when you have heroes like Luna, you just hit the button. Like, there's very little outplay. Like, Luna's going to be Luna. She's
I don't know,
what
if you eclipse on a high ground and you just don't hit anybody?
Right. I'm sure Envy has measured the range. I hope he has.
He got out the screen ruler, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
He's got like some measurements, like 1 inch equals like 10 in-game units or something like that.
In-game units.
And by the way, there's
It would
also
be way more than that. It'd be like
Mech
100.
3 on Invoker now. Envy just running in.
Yeah, and he doesn't care. He needs to be cautious that he has weave on him right now. Another ball in from Resolution. Pilot guy actually gets the blink off. They're going to decide to go on Aoi instead, and the nice 3-man stomp coming out from Mag. Bone 7 already finds a kill on Van Score. Here comes the Eclipse. The Fissure comes out as well from Pilot Die. And it's actually a 2-for-2 right now. Always Want to Fly still alive, and they're going to be trying to chase down Silent as well, who is running away from Envy. Envy really wants this kill. I don't really think he's going to get it, though. Sing manages to kill Always Want to Fly in the base. I'm assuming that was a Sunstrike.
Storm's coming right back in right now. He sees Envy, and he wants him dead, but out of mana. That's the problem. Like you said, the birds are dropping, and so is Resolution. Resolution does not have buyback, and even if he does not have the BKB to back him up. Envy is looking at a tier 3 tower that's about to go down. Oh, he does have buyback. All right.
I don't know if that was 700 gold for him to buy back.
Okay, Glyph is going to come out. They're going to fight. Live another day, I hope.
Yeah, exactly. The lights are on.
The lights are now back off. They're on.
Turn them on.
Silent's
gonna die.
Oh, the birds! No, Magic Wand backs up, still alive. He's going to go back to the well, but exposed Rex for Envious mean. Oh no, Max going to TP on the back line. It's going to be a two-man stop. He is so slow. Oh, ow, he's going to get caught. He Magic sticks up. He's still alive. Mag is gonna. That ice swapping stolen by Always Wanna Fly. Always Wanna Fly is playing out of his mind right now, but not enough.
Yeah, Envy still has Aegis, by the way. Resolution goes to the BKB. They're going to be able to take him down the first time. Envy's going to be respawning. Are they going to back him up? Silence just in the back lines right now, taking out Aoi and Paladai both. Paladai with the body block. He makes Silent go all the way around. The gem is on deck. Paladai is going to be able to pick it up. Lucent Beam onto Silent. He wants to try to get the heck out of here. Throws a dagger for the movement speed and gets hit with a huge totem.
He has buyback as well. And looks like he, on the look at things, he's going for Blame Mail, which is a very good item if you can get the activation.
How are the racks still alive?
I don't know. I keep saying
the Necro books.
Oh my god. Envy could have popped his Manta in that fight and just send it back into the melee racks, and that may have done it. It looks like C9 is gonna back off. They got 2 buybacks out of the Team Empire. And Empire might not lose now, but because all the buybacks they've used, they're really limiting of what they could do in the next fight.
The lights are back off, lads. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, it's over, it's bright. No, it's not over. It's like more game.
I mean, I just want to point out the net worth so far for Envy versus Silent. It is worlds apart.
Oh yeah, he's got double net worth.
When he gets his butterfly, is there anything you can do?
I mean, the saving grace really is that even though, like earlier, Lumi said that buying a BKB sometimes isn't necessary, Silent's not going to die to just a Nyx. Oh, maybe with a Sunstrike. He's going to be pretty close. He's got another mana burn. He's not going to be able to dagger. Silent wants to go for the kill, actually. Bone 7's trying to run away. You can't blink, though.
Mana burn.
One more mana burn.
Jesus.
No, man up! Man up! Silent. Oh.
He didn't know who was hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he didn't have any vision anywhere. It's, like, super risky.
And his buyback was on cooldown.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with the fact, like, given the vision that he had to run. But it just sucks because we can see where everyone is. And it's like, no, you could have killed him. But he doesn't know that, so. Something else, and now I can't remember what it was.
You were talking about something about BKB.
Oh, yeah. So, like Lumia said, buying a BKB isn't always a necessity when you're super far ahead in farm. Like, a Satanic is obviously like an amazing item, right? But if you don't have a BKB, there's still the potential that Empire could almost unlock you to death.
And they did almost that in that team fight. It was a telekinesis lift into a 3-man mag stun from the Centaur, and then Always Wanna Fly was able to take a fissure and lob it on top of that. It was like literally 6 or 7 seconds of chain stun, and Envy just stood there. But he had so much HP.
Yeah, the triple bracer.
That is some serious desperation from our boy Vanscore, man. Triple bracers.
Why is he not playing Rubik? What's up with that? Like,
I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to switch it up.
Well, like stolen fissure, stolen clips, stolen ghost wall.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying.
All right. I mean, all of C9's grouped up. This is not too good. They're gonna go right on.
He actually disjoints the stun nicely. Done. They want to go on Sing. He's going to go pop the BKB. Is he actually going to be alive for this entire fight? Sing still not going to drop. They pop the mana that Envy uses Satanic as well with the Eclipse, and they just simply don't have the damage to fight this. It's a triple kill for Envy. Can he make it an Ultra? It looks like it was a little bit close, but Bone 7 actually got the kill on Resolution, so the only one again who is going to live through that engagement is Always Wanna Fly, and he might get the birds. Oh no, they turned!
Objective
they turned away. Circumstances is that, I mean, sure, 4 for 2, not great, but they fought about as well as they could have. Mag got a really nice stomp. And they managed to catch Sing prior to BKB, so they did kill him.
They were in a really difficult position as well because they're fighting on the upground. Like, it's really difficult to fight uphill.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, even as far behind as they were, which Empire were really far behind, like over 20,000 gold during that fight, like, they still managed to kill 2.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what Lumi was saying a little bit earlier. It's like they don't always win just based on their composition, they win based on their team play and, like, knowing what targets to focus. So, in that regard, I still have to say, like, Empire played it, like pretty darn well.
How many 3-man stuns has Mike got? Like 4?
3 or 4. And I have to say, if they actually killed Sing Sing before he was able to pop his mech in BKB, that teamfight would have been significantly different. Like having that AoE heal, and everybody was so low on C9, so I think props to Empire. Like if Sing Sing was a bit lower, they would win that teamfight or get very close to it.
Yeah.
So Mega Creeps against Team Empire.
Yeah.
And that happens.
There's like echo slams and stuff, and
The lights aren't on yet, so...
I don't know. It's okay. They gave up on it. They decided, you know what? We can't actually know for sure when the game's going to be over, because in a game where a team might not call GG, they just call GG immediately, and then other times it's like, okay, surely they're going to call GG, and then they don't.
All the drones exposed.
Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, they're going to lose their base. And it is called Defense of the Ancient.
Yeah. That's an honorable death to the Empire, though. You know what I mean?
They let him finish the job. And Empire go 1-1 today.
Not what we expected.